Hey, good morning. Before we jump into today's plan, just a quick heads up that today is rollover and we are switching from the ES June contract to the ES September contract, and the key support resistance zones today are for the ES September contract. So with that out of the way, let's jump into today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we saw that the market tested above yesterday's high, and for the most part, it has been balancing above the 30-quarter high volume node. So off the open, we'll be watching to see whether the market can hold its overnight low of 28.5, whether it can hold above the 30-quarter high volume node. If it can continue to do so, and we are seeing broad market strength and sustained upside momentum, then the upside objective would be 35.5 to 37.5. Now that zone marks the all-time high, and in order to get any kind of sustained breakout beyond 35.5 to 37.5, we would have to see broad market strength and some decent and sustained upside momentum. If those bullish conditions are present in real time and we're seeing signs of directionality, then it would be possible for the market to break beyond 35.5 to 37.5. But if the market is testing initial resistance zone and we are not seeing that broad market strength or upside momentum, then a breakout attempt becomes risky. It doesn't mean that the market can't poke to a new all-time high, but it would be difficult then for the market to sustain that new high. On the downside, behind the overnight low, we have initial support at 23.25 to 25.25 and yesterday's low at 21.75. That area marks the bottom of the current developing balance area, and that's a spot where responsive buyers can defend. And then in order to get any kind of sustained breakdown below initial support and below yesterday's low, we would have to see broad market weakness and some decent and sustained downside momentum. Absent any clear signs of directionality, the market can continue to balance within a range. The econ calendar is fairly light today, but we have the general election taking place right now in the UK. We have the Comey testimony today. It's rollover. When you take all of that into account, it makes sense to be a little bit more selective today and exercise a little more caution. Quite often, the opportunity potential on rollover days can be fairly limited, and the price action can be a little bit more choppy. So when you take all those things into account, it just makes sense to be a little bit more selective and just overall be a bit more careful with the types of trades that are taken today. So those are the main ideas heading into the open. Again, the market is in a very balanced state. The short-term bias is neutral, and that means that the market can continue to balance within initial support and initial resistance. And in order to break beyond initial resistance or below initial support, we would have to see those real-time signs of directionality. So those are the main thoughts. Right off the open, let's see how the market responds to the 29.5 to 30-quarter area. That'll provide a bit of a signal in terms of our real-time intraday bias, and we'll take it from there.